And welcome into the Pander and Slander podcast, the first official episode. And this is about to become the greatest WWE podcast on the internet. I promise y'all. I'm Benny Harper. I'm one of the hosts. I'm joined by my good friend, fellow WWE fan, James Irvin. And man, I am excited to get this first podcast underway. How about you, James?
I'm absolutely fired up. We're on the road to WrestleMania. There's no better time. There's no hotter time to talk WWE right now. So I'm excited to get into it.
Oh, fully excited. Like you said, road to WrestleMania, but we got one stop on the way, and it is this weekend. It is Elimination Chamber. James, tell me what the Elimination Chamber means as a longtime WWE fan.
The Elimination Chamber is one of the most fun match types in all of wrestling. Whenever you can get multiple big stars, normally it is big stars, and in a structure like that, it's one of the most innovative structures that you see. Everyone has cage matches. They added pods, a ring around it. It's just really, really cool, really fun. It provides a lot of great moments. And normally it's for a title, determining who's the number one contender. So there's always a lot of stakes going on when there's an Elimination Chamber match.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You couldn't have said it best. I mean, just it's a great match that produces a lot of great moments. And this year, so far, well, I can't say so far. We did figure out the final two contestants to the Elimination Chamber on this last Raw. But the cast of characters we have in there, I am freaking ecstatic for what it brings. So, I mean, no better way to start off the first episode today by just diving right into our Elimination Chamber predictions. But first, let's go over those qualifying matches that happened on Monday Night Raw, because we saw the final men's Elimination Chamber qualifier. It was Bronson Reed, it was Jey Uso, and it was OG El Grande Americano. Now, I think, James, you and I had the same idea. There was a clear winner for this match. We'll get into the Bronson Reed injury in a little bit, but with that injury being said, it did catapult Jey Uso into what I think is a pivot entering into the chamber. So now we officially know those six contestants: Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans, showing a lot of trust into the young guns there. And then we got Jey Uso and LA Knight. And then on the women's side of things, it was a triple threat of Kairi Sane, Raquel Rodriguez, and Io Sky. And I think a lot of people had Io Sky in mind for winning that match, especially maybe telling a story of Rhea Ripley, Io Sky having to go one-on-one while being the tag team champs. But ultimately, for me, James, I did feel like Raquel Rodriguez was going to be the winner of that match. It didn't make too much sense to go ahead and pull the trigger on breaking up Rio and Io and that type of storyline. Well, they had the titles in their hands. I don't know about your opinion on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Raquel Rodriguez is a good choice. She is really, really improved a lot to me compared to when she first started getting into wrestling. I think about 2022 when she debuted on SmackDown, facing Ronda Rousey, of all people, really first match. But she's improved a lot since watching Raquel now work in the ring, and she's done really a good job. They have a lot
Oh, no.
those characters, stuff like that. So I really think Raquel Rodriguez and how everything can go, she can really be a big star. And I think obviously you got that Liv story coming up a little later. They've dropped a little tease here. I think they probably hold off a little bit before they actually do it. But I like Raquel Rodriguez a lot. I think you got a lot of fun choices in the women's chamber as well as the men's.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you said, Raquel Rodriguez has really improved a lot. I mean, over the past couple of months with the Liv Morgan injury, I mean, she had to step up. She had to be the main girl of Judgment Day. I think she filled that role very, very well. So now knowing those final contestants getting in there, also a little quick sideline, that I feel bad for Jey Uso, man. I mean, he's been clowned all year for being overpushed, for not being the best wrestler solo, and now he's just being catapulted into the chamber when I really feel like he wasn't supposed to win the qualifier. But now
he definitely wasn't. He definitely wasn't. According to some reports we've seen already come out, it was supposed to be Bronson Reed. Like I said, we're going to get into it a little later. The Jey Uso stuff, like, they capitalized when they thought he was hot, which is like kind of what you're supposed to do. But Jey Uso, we always all kind of felt he was he was in his right spot where he was perfectly. And I feel like you just kind of rushed the main event title push when you had other stars that were kind of built up already. Jey Uso needed to build up to be a main event star. And they just kind of rushed it. They really did kind of rush the Jey Uso push by giving. Like, I get you got to strike when the moment's hot, but man,
it's just also you
did work. It was Jey Uso, especially in the solo game.
Well, you also beat Gunther using his own finisher. That also just never really made that much sense. But I mean, so now that we know all of our 6 contestants, I think the only right thing to go into now is who do we think is going to win the chamber? And I think I'm going to tee you up for this one, James. Is I want to hear your winner. We just talked about the women's. Let's stay there. Your winner for women's chamber out of the 6. Who do you think?
You know, as much as I really do want it to be someone else a little more fun, I do think Rhea Ripley. I do think Rhea Ripley is going to walk out with the win. I think, you know, having Rhea Ripley on me kind of got to do. And I was kind of thinking about it earlier. I was like, if she doesn't win this Elimination Chamber match and goes face Cargill, what does Rhea Ripley do? Is it something with her and Io Sky, the Kabuki Warriors? I don't know.
It is an interesting thought. I mean, Rhea Ripley, you always think she's so good, she's so big. You don't necessarily have to have her win these moments for her to have her title shots. But you did raise a good question. Where do you go from here? Because I feel like they want to do something with Io Sky and Julia in the future for the United States Championship.
Absolutely.
I do get that feeling. So if that ends up becoming like a Mania match between Io and Julia, are we really going to have a Mania without Rhea Ripley? That does seem like a weird thought to have. Now, I do feel like Rhea Ripley is among the 3 names that I really think are realistic to win this. I see Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, or Raquel Rodriguez. Now, a lot of people have been saying Tiffany Stratton, but do we really think the best idea right now at WrestleMania is running back Tiffany Stratton and Jade, which was the last feud for the title?
No,
I don't think that's the answer. Not when you're not selling tickets and no one really bought into that match in the first 2 major title shots that they had against each other. I mean, like, I was never sold into that storyline of those 2. Now, I think Alexa Bliss could be really cool because I think if she won the chamber, she then would challenge Jade Cargill. Then it becomes maybe a storyline in the lead up to WrestleMania that Charlotte Flair is jealous because she didn't make it to the chamber when Kiana James stole that pin. And she's jealous. And then that's when Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss turn on each other. I don't know how you feel about that idea.
I wouldn't want Charlotte and Alexa to turn on each other just yet because I do enjoy where the storyline is. Like, obviously, it's going to build. That's where it's going to be at some point. I would really like to win the Elimination as well. But just going back to my point, Rhea Ripley is only a one-time women's champion, and she hasn't held the belt since 2021. Like, that's when her reign started. It ended in 22. So it's been a few years since we've got a real Rhea Ripley reign. She held it for 379 days. It was a short reign. But still, just hearing that Rhea Ripley's only a one-time women's champion, and
it does feel a little wrong.
I think it might be time to get the belt back on Rhea, especially for the Raw side.
Yeah, the only other one, like I said, Raquel Rodriguez, just because he could tell a storyline of Liv and Raquel both going after both the titles, trying to win gold, complete gold for the Judgment Day. Maybe Raquel fails her title challenge, and then she starts thinking back on her being eliminated at Royal Rumble, and then it leads to Liv wins her title. Maybe Raquel is the first challenger for that. I think there's a lot of routes you could go there, but ultimately, I'm going to go with the boring answer, the safe answer. Go back to the Royal Rumble. Who were the safe answers? I feel like Liv Morgan was the safe answer. And I definitely feel like Roman Reigns was the backpedal. We just need to go with the tried and true. So if they're booking like that, I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley as well. Staying on the same page. So
I like it.
Now we talked about the women's. Of course, we got the men's as well. So once again, I'll tee you up to go first. James, who do you think is winning at the men's Royal Rumble?
Well, we're not at the Royal Rumble. We are at the
the Elimination Chamber. Just talking about the Royal.
I think it's LA Knight's time. I think there's no better time for LA Knight, to finally get his push. I think if you wanted to go Bronson Reed, you have to put Jey Uso in there now. Kind of know Jey Uso is not winning. All right, like as much as we love Javon Evans and Trick Williams, they've only been here for about 2 months. So I think that'd be fun. I think Javon Evans would be fantastic. I think Trick Williams would be really fun too. I think the first one of the trio between Oba, Evans, and Williams, I think Oba's gonna get the title first. He's just an absolute monster. So it really leaves Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and LA Knight. I think Cody Rhodes would be the boring answer. I would not mind a Randy Orton push, but I think you want to capitalize on something. Finally give that person what they deserve. He's been getting the biggest reaction since 2022 range. He has been there every single week. He was supposed to be doing the storyline. The vision died. I think it's time to LA Knight, get that belt off Drew McIntyre.
I was just about to say that too, because I really feel like they were heating up for LA Knight to have a feud with the Vision heading into WrestleMania with maybe it's a handicap match where it's like 3 Vision guys versus 1 LA Knight. Maybe it was just a one-on-one. I don't necessarily know what the actual match would have been, but I felt like his WrestleMania match was him versus a Vision member. I mean, the entire Royal Rumble, he was targeting the Vision. He got out Bronson Reed. He got out Logan Paul. He was only targeting the Vision. And now that's out the window. What is your plan with LA Knight? Are you really going to lean into the rumors online and feed them to the wolves to Brock Lesnar? I don't necessarily think that advances LA Knight in any sort of way. It does make Brock look more dominant, but he already looks dominant. He'll look dominant against anyone. So there is a huge question for LA Knight going forward. I just think it's going to be Randy Orton. I think it's finally time for Randy to stop looking at championship gold and finally pull the trigger and let the guy fight for a championship. Try to go for, 15th? So, I mean, and I think what that would set up is a potential fatal 4-way at WrestleMania. I think it would be a dream fatal 4-way too. You already had Nick Aldis say, hey, Jacob Fatu, you're going to get your hands on McIntyre. Well, when is that going to happen? On a random episode of SmackDown in the lead up to WrestleMania? I don't really think so. Cody Rhodes feuded with Drew McIntyre. I mean, what? Half the year, James? I mean, it was a long time.
The feud's been told. Like, I know they're teasing it, setting it up, but the feud's been told. The match happened multiple times. In fact, it was 2 out of 3 falls match, so we saw the match 3 times in a night.
It is interesting, but they are still keeping Cody around Drew, and Drew is still attacking Cody, and he's still attacking guys like Jacob Fatu. And if you remember last SmackDown, what was Randy Orton's match? I mean, Randy Orton was fighting Aleister Black, and all of a sudden, it was Drew McIntyre out of nowhere during the main event, showing up after he'd been kicked off the show, attacking him with the title. Why would Drew attack Randy Orton? To set up Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. At least that's how that goes in my head. I do believe Randy Orton wins the Chamber. Your WrestleMania match is Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, fatal 4-way.
I just think personally, I think Drew McIntyre is kind of wrecking havoc on SmackDown. Like, I'm the champion. I don't show I'm going to do what I want. I think you always got to keep Cody Rhodes around the title. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
And players, like, when it comes to Elimination Chamber, like, Cody Rhodes probably going to get one of those chamber pods. Like, you got to sell tickets. He's a star. I just think if you put Cody Rhodes in this match, it's going to turn the crowd against Cody Rhodes a little bit more, which is, I think, can kind of backfire on WWE.
I'm actually going to, we're in just a second, we're going to spin back on my theory of why Cody Rhodes is involved in that match. So, with that being said, let's now, we discussed our chamber winners. We both think Rhea's going to win. It seems like everyone's starting to go with the tried and true, go with what you know is going to sell. And like James said, I mean, only being a one-time champion, that does sound a little lackluster for Rhea Ripley. Let's put another one on her. So, the other, we have 2 title matches on the card as well for Elimination Chamber. The first one we'll go over. I think it's surprising that they pulled the trigger on doing this match at Elimination Chamber, but it's AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental title. Does it maybe, did it feel rushed for you as well, James?
No, not at all.
No.
I think could they have done more? Always, but I think with what they were given, I think this is a good feud. I think AJ Lee is in Becky's head, and I think AJ Lee walks out with the championship.
I do as well, and I will explain my reason. I just felt like that was definitely like a surefire WrestleMania match. Like that is our WrestleMania, one of our big sellers. Let's have the AJ Lee.
I think it will
Becky
happen
Lynch
at Mania
feud.
too. I think it will happen.
I think it will. I think that could also be another fatal four-way because if you remember the first Maxine and Natty match after Natty betrayed her, who came out to save Maxine, AJ Lee, then Becky Lynch came out to attack AJ Lee. The fact that they're kind of in that mix, maybe it does become another fatal four-way. But I do agree. I think AJ Lee is going to win this match. If this match happened at WrestleMania, I think Becky would win because Becky's your full-time wrestler. We don't know if AJ Lee is going to turn into this full-time wrestler. She's most likely not going to. She's going to be in every now and then. So with it happening at Elimination Chamber, it could make sense for AJ Lee to win that title, get a nice run with the title in between Mania, rematch with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch takes it back then, or maybe if it is a fatal four-way, it goes to Maxine or whoever. I do agree with you there. I think AJ Lee does win this, and I think it's just a way to get a nice pop in Chicago and make it like a night for Chicago. Both Chicagoans win.
Both Chicagoans win
titles
at the Chamber.
So
lose their titles at Mania.
Yeah. Speaking of both Chicagoans, I mean, your other title match, I really love the title match. I just would love if WrestleMania wasn't already being shown to us on billboards in Las Vegas to where you almost know the winner. But I love the rematch of CM Punk and Finn Balor for that World Heavyweight title. I would ask you who you think is going to win this, but I think we all know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on where it is on the show. It depends on the order. If it is like match 4 right before Chamber match, Punk's keeping the title. Like they're not doing a big title change like that. However, if it main events over both chambers, I think you could argue if Finn Balor tries get the title.
Yeah.
Like I think you could.
I mean, and what if it is a giant like pull the rug underneath the viewer moment where it's like, hey guys, we've been marketing CM Punk and Roman Reigns as the greatest match in WrestleMania history. It's kind of been their saving grace for WrestleMania because it does feel like a Mania without a true direction right now.
It's a weird build to WrestleMania. Like it's a weird build. Like the problem is all these pay-per-views are only having 4 matches, so it's like you're not necessarily giving us much to build. The shows aren't like it's in Vegas again.
I saw someone
Everyone's getting injured. Like what is WrestleMania right now?
I saw an interesting like take on it. It's like the guy says, well, like WrestleMania 39. The story was Roman Reigns' immortality, going for 1,000 days. WrestleMania 40 was the story of Cody Rhodes completing the story. That was the entire story around it. WrestleMania 41, what's the story? John Cena winning his 17th championship. We had a clear storyline for us to be watching, and right now, your only storyline is, hey, Roman Reigns, CM Punk.
It's literally like 2 big stars fighting because we can. Which is always good. I don't hate those kinds of foods, but for the main event of WrestleMania, and I know they're trying to get some more storytelling into SmackDown for title reign, it's just not working. I think the most interesting thing going right now in the WWE is probably the stuff with Obafemi, the Grande Americano storyline.
Yeah.
And like the Finn Balor stuff, right now has been the most captivating story, especially on the Raw side of things.
Sure.
I think you could argue that there could be a quick title change right there and make it a triple threat.
And I was going to say, I mean, don't forget, Finn Balor does have a history with Roman Reigns as well. Like,
he does.
There is
he mentioned him
there.
in the promo. I beat you on my first night here.
Yeah, like there is a story to be told within that if you weed this into a giant triple threat. Now, ultimately, I don't want to fall into the trap of thinking Finn Balor is going to win. So I'm going to sit here and say right now, I would love to be wrong, but I think CM Punk's going to win this title. What I think is going to happen, and what I would love to happen, is make it one hell of a match. Like, just a hell of a match. Both guys hitting finisher after finisher, kick out after kick out. Late in the match, it is JD McDonough, it is Dirty Dom coming out to try to get involved. Maybe it's Finn Balor saying, hey guys, get away. I want to do this by myself. He turns around, gets hit with a go to sleep. Maybe that's how he loses. Maybe it's Dirty Dom trying to hand him a weapon, but the weapon ends up getting used against Finn Balor. There's a lot of ways you could go about that. But then imagine all three of them are in the ring. Dirty Dom and JD McDonough are right there saying like, hey, I'm sorry. Boom. Finn Balor attacks them both. It's a face turn. He betrays the Judgment Day on Elimination Chamber. I think that could also be as equally big of a moment as him winning the title, because you have this, we've had this storyline of Judgment Day possibly breaking up. I feel like the whole year it's been a silent story that's being told from Finn Balor
for multiple years.
Yeah, well, and this year, I mean, you had Finn Balor bring in Roxanne Perez during the Liv Morgan injury, kind of like trying to get Dirty Dom to get in trouble with Liv Morgan. You had a lot, Liv Morgan eliminating freaking Raquel Rodriguez in the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of different things pointing into a giant Judgment Day implosion. And I think you could tell that story and pull the trigger on Finn Balor leaving at Elimination Chamber.
I think you're absolutely right, Benny. I think you're absolutely right. I think that also the stuff with Liv Morgan and Stephanie McKeer, that has been good storytelling as well. I'm very much in on that feud.
I am too. I've been seeing a lot of mixed reactions about that too. Some people haven't necessarily like fallen in. I think it's just because a lot of the promos are done fully in Spanish with Beck here, and they're letting her do that. But I love the whole like storyline of Dirty Dom being there, like she's saying
just kind of translating.
She's saying she conquered the entire world. I don't know what she's saying. Like, I kind of like that.
She's lying. She's lying. He's like going back at her. Like, yeah, I think it's funny.
But ultimately,
too.
You know, I saw another theory. I think it'll be fun to bring up. Do I think it's going to happen? I think it's just someone like dreaming up the best possible case scenario. It's kind of along the lines of what I said with Judgment Day costing Finn Balor. They're all three standing in the ring, but instead of Finn Balor attacking them, which I think is just the easier way of attacking this, he said the demon music plays. Whole place goes red, and all it is Finn Balor walking away. Just like while they're trying to chat to him, he just walks away with the demon music. I was like, okay,
I think
that would be dope.
The biggest blunder of WrestleMania 39 was Demon Finn Balor losing to Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Because Edge is gone. Finn Balor is still here.
Not doing a lot.
Build stars, yet you don't. Yet you get wins to Edge, and I love Edge. Edge did not need that win. Demon Finn Balor needed to win that.
Yeah. Now, I do think if Finn Balor leaves, ultimately maybe the Demon comes back. He was talking about it in the Cody Rhodes podcast. His only big problem with bringing the Demon back right now is he just wants more creative control over it. What he said is like apparently booking wanted it to be that Finn Balor would lose and then the Demon would come out. And he never liked the idea of putting Finn Balor down just to put the Demon up. So if he gets a little creative control, it can come back. Technically, it already came back in the form of a puppet, Demonito in AAA. So I feel like they might be teasing it. But ultimately, I just feel like Finn Balor face turn. This would be the time to pull the trigger right now, Elimination Chamber, because that could give us something to be hyped about. Maybe it leads into a feud with Dirty Dom at WrestleMania for the IC title. So
yeah, absolutely.
For King of Judgment Day or something like that, whatever it might be. Now, something we touched on talking about Elimination Chamber qualifier. Let's just dive into it. The unfortunate injury news that came out on Monday Night Raw. I mean, the guy was literally going to break up a pin of all things, and Bronson Reed tears his freaking bicep.
I just in the most unfortunate, unlucky way possible. Bronson Reed has probably done that exact same thing 100,000 times.
I mean, it's not lifting a guy up
than one time.
It's not lifting a guy up. It's just
And
diving
Braun
to break
Breaker
a
unlucky
pin.
too. He gave himself a damn hernia by doing that stupid table
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah. I mean, what is going on with the Vision? I mean, are they cursed? I mean, it is just
They might be a little cursed, Benny.
Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and honestly, I think let's just talk about the elephant in the room. This really screwed the WWE in a bad way. When you're in this moment that they are, where you're having problems selling WrestleMania tickets, and one of the biggest stories you've been counting on heading into WrestleMania has pretty much just lost all momentum.
Well, I think you got to blame a little bit of TKO on this. The prices on these WrestleManias are outlandish.
And now they're trying.
As much as they say it's their Super Bowl, it's not the Super Bowl. It is not the Super Bowl.
You should still be able to go to. I know last weekend they even tried a 25% discount. That wasn't even. But that's honestly, like we said, like a WrestleMania with no direction. What am I buying the tickets for? Like, what is my big story to go watch right now?
You could price those tickets like that because you were in Vegas and it was John Cena's last WrestleMania.
Yeah,
people were gonna go to it.
Yeah. It's
this
just
year though, it's like, are you Benny? Are you gonna shell out $5,000 to go watch Roman Reigns and CM Punk? Like,
no.
Maybe like
I might if okay. I will say when they did the 25% off, there's some of those little nosebleed sections that weren't like horrible. I paid the same for like a playoff NFL game, so I was looking at those like, but still, it's nosebleed seats. For that price. So it's like I just rather watch it on the TV at that point. But I mean, back to the point, I think a big storyline of Elimination Chamber, I mean, you don't even have to be a rocketeer, rocket scientist to break down this storyline. Bronson Reed goes to the chamber as the only big person in the Vision left. He gets in. You finish the story with the Masked Man, with him breaking into chamber, curb stomping Bronson Reed, costing Bronson Reed and revealing himself, oh, it's Seth Rollins. This leads into Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, WrestleMania. What do you do with that now? That was going to be one of the biggest.
Logan Paul is the Paul Heyman guy. Logan Paul is the biggest star in the Vision. He's going to have to be the mouthpiece for the Vision, unless you just let Paul Heyman do all the talking. Unless you introduce Brock Lesnar finally back into the Vision. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't necessarily even know what I would do at this point. I'd maybe just try and build up Austin Theory, Logan Paul as a tag team.
Yeah, and they just fill in right there. Maybe beef with the Usos and everything for
add some star power to the
WrestleMania
tag
match.
team until their partners come back, which is like 9 months from now. I think Braun Breaker probably comes back way before Bronson Reed. But still, like they're saying, like he's not gonna be back till like after Mania, which is like May.
So what do you do with the Mystery Man now? Is it just smart to bail out and just cop out and scrap it and we never talk about it? Because I don't. What else is there to do? Because there's nothing to link Logan Paul or Austin Theory other than the only thing that links Austin Theory to Seth Rollins is technically to be teaming with Seth Rollins because he used to be Seth Rollins' disciple. But these guys were not even a part of the Vision when the eventual turn on Seth Rollins actually happened. That was Braun Breaker, specifically Braun Breaker actually hitting the spear. And it was Bronson Reed there to add a tsunami afterwards. So, like, when Bronson Reed is injured and he's out for which also, let's just talk about, there's never a right time for an injury, but right before WrestleMania for the second year in a row for Bronson Reed, that is just, I feel so bad for the guy.
It's bad timing. It was his time to be the push to go be that guy, and just unfortunate that it had to happen like that. And now the Vision stuff is not like people are already 50-50 on the Vision stuff. I think, man, this could honestly kill it. Like this could just kill it altogether.
Yeah, I don't
think it's the worst thing in the world.
Do you just bail on the Vision and Paul Heyman chooses a new guy? I mean, you've already
just wait for Braun. I think you just wait for Braun Breaker to come back and you just go all in on Braun Breaker.
Yep. Well, I mean, right now, we kind of know that Paul Heyman has a way to WrestleMania. We have a way to have Paul Heyman on the WrestleMania show like he kind of always should be with the character he is in the WWE. He's there advocating for Brock Lesnar. We know Brock Lesnar is going to be on WrestleMania because of the open challenge. Is that maybe them saying, hey, we might just put Paul Heyman on Brock Lesnar and the vision gets scrapped and Paul Heyman looks at Logan Paul and Austin Theory like, I don't want to play with you anymore, like the Andy with Woody meme. It's just a giant question mark. It's a giant shot to WWE, who is already struggling with stories, and this was supposed to be one of your main stories. You got to feel bad with everyone involved there. And like I said earlier, I also feel bad for Jey Uso because I kind of like Jey Uso. I feel bad for him at times, but at the same time, he's not the best in-ring performer in the company. He botches a lot. He gets about half-winded from the intro. He's fine on the mic, but he's going to get punished even more online just because they had to pivot to him. And we all know what's coming. It's going to be Jey Uso standing on a chamber pod, James, saying, run it back.
Run it back.
we know that's going to happen now.
And it's going to kill a bunch of people. And like the run it back stuff is so annoying. I can't lie. It is.
I liked it. Annoying. I liked it for a while. And if they wouldn't do it every single time, it would be almost comedically placed. I mean, like it would actually kind of work.
It would work.
In certain moments, like
I get it though. Like when the entire crowd is chanting "run it back," then you do it. Then you do it. I get it. You're there for the live audience.
But we don't got to do it every single time.
Because especially not when the crowd is chanting. And when the crowd is not chanting for it, we don't. We don't.
Like I did love the moment in the Royal Rumble where he ran it back and then he stood in front of Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns is like, and then he just eliminated James. I love that. Or he just hit him with a spear. I don't think he eliminated him, but that was rather funny. But yeah, that's all we have for that. It's just another unfortunate injury within the world of the WWE. And I do also wonder what's the story for Seth Rollins. I mean, maybe you turned the Masked Man into another person. Maybe it wasn't Seth Rollins all along. Maybe that becomes the story. I just don't know who you would pivot to then for that. And then another question: what's the plan with Seth Rollins? Is he just going to be injured until after WrestleMania?
It might just be another after Mania moment because, again, you probably assumed he was going to do some Vision stuff, but now it might just be an after Mania moment. And if that's the case, then you're out Kevin Owens, which you screwed him for last year's Mania. Rollins, Breakker, Reed. Like that's a lot.
You know what?
Star power.
I just remembered one thing we forgot to talk about in the Elimination Chamber section. There is the mystery box, the grand old mystery box. If we didn't have enough mysteries in the WWE, we got a Masked Man, we got a mystery box, and we got a mystery opponent for Brock Lesnar. I mean, what's next?
Because I think the WWE doesn't even know what they're gonna do. So they're like, it's a mystery.
Yeah. I think at this point we're gonna get a match on WrestleMania that's Mystery Man versus Mystery Man. Find out when you buy a ticket.
Man versus Masked Man.
Like it's interesting. So the mystery box is something that's been added to the storyline of Elimination Chamber. They brought this box in. What was it, about 2 weeks now? All it says on there is don't open until the date of Elimination Chamber, and both GMs have been shipping it off to each other. It's all we know. There's been a lot of rumors online, whether it could be a person, whether it could be promotional items, or I've just seen a lot. And you know what? I've been making you go first a lot. I'm going to share my opinion for what I think is in the mystery box here. I haven't seen a lot of people say this one. It might be a little bit outlandish, but we never truly got the outcome of the story when it happened. I think the mystery box is a giant misdirect. I mean, it's a giant freaking box. It looks the size of a human being. I think when they open it, all it's going to be is a CD, a tape, whatever you want it to be, some media device that's going to have video proof of who actually attacked Jacob Fatu when he was written off screen, when he was attacked backstage, teeth missing everything. Everyone thinks it's Drew McIntyre. No one's ever actually like confirmed it was Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre keeps protesting that it's not him. And I mentioned earlier, how could Cody get involved into the Mania Fatal 4-Way? What if it's Cody? I mean,
what if it's Sami Zayn taking that next step to
it would be interesting
and be that champion.
It would be interesting if it is Sami Zayn and he pulled the trigger earlier, and the past couple months he went right back to old Sami Zayn. That would be an interesting one. I think it could be Cody. I mean, Cody's already been shown to not be afraid to pull the trigger as a baby face. I mean, when Randy Orton injured his back, Cody targeted the back. I mean, Cody ripped off the ringside thing, fighting John Cena, babyface John Cena, to attack Cena with it. He pulled the trigger on Sami Zayn after Sami Zayn defended him from Drew McIntyre. I mean, it's not out of the realm that Cody attacks someone. It would be a fun way to tie Cody back into the story with the heat that we already know that's between Cody and Jacob Fatu, because that is a story there. Neither of them really like each other, is what they made it out to seem. And you've already had the past heat with Cody and Drew McIntyre. Everyone's begging for a Randy Orton Cody Rhodes feud. It's all in one match now. That's my prediction for what's in the box. I do think it will be who actually attacked Jacob Fatu, and that will be one of the main storylines heading into Mania.
I've been trying to think of like who a superstar could be, like who they would be trying to bring in and debut or bring back. I have no idea what it's going to be. Like I am stumped because I don't think I like your idea. I don't think it'll be. I think. And I fear saying this because I don't want to be right. I think this might be something promotional. I think this might be a little sponsorship thing, fun-ish thing. I don't know. I risk saying that because I fear that could be that. But I would really like it if it was a cool debuting superstar, someone coming up.
It would be interesting. I mean, like, but I've seen a very popular thing go around online that it might just be a giant promotional thing for WWE 2K26. And by God, that makes a lot of sense. And I hate how much sense that makes. Everyone, I mean, for the past, 4 months, everyone wants it to be Chris Jericho. I don't think it's going to be Chris Jericho, y'all. I don't.
Well, because at this point, what does Chris Jericho do at Mania?
Yeah, what is he coming back for? Now, I like the idea of someone said like Chris Jericho could eventually replace Adam Pearce as Raw general manager, and that's how Chris Jericho returns to WWE. I think that would be fun as a heel manager. But his whole opinion was centered out being a heel manager that's like sided with the vision. Doesn't work if there's no vision anymore. So there really is no.
Well, the fact that Nick Aldis is opening it with him too, like that's what kind of made me think it could have been Superstar, but. Yeah, the fact that it could be something cool. It could be something really fun. But just where the WWE is at this point, I think the year of 2025 and 26 is going to be like a year of missed opportunities for WWE.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
So it might just be another one, and it might just be a promotional ploy. I really hope it's not. I really, really hope it's not.
I'm with you, Benny. I'm with you.
So the next thing we can finally break into the actual opinions we had from this last Monday Night Raw on this week. And I mean, it was an interesting one, if that's even the word to use. Let me reword that. It was a straight up lazy booking.
It was a stinker of a show. I was bored.
For it to be the go home show before
Elimination Chamber.
I mean, what in
did not build up hype at all.
What? Let's just start right at the top, the intro. I mean, okay, it made sense right out the gates. We're gonna say, hey, we're celebrating AJ Styles. Okay, Gunther walks out. We should be celebrating me. And I mean, classic Gunther.
I
Gunther's
liked
the
the
monster
Gunther
heel.
stuff. I liked the Gunther
That was
stuff.
fine. I was fine with that cold open. But for that to bleed into, okay, then Dragon Lee attacks him, and then we're backstage, and then we walk in Cody. Cody randomly staring down Gunther. Is that really going to be a match? It might be, because what in the world are we going to do with Gunther going forward? Is he just going to keep retiring all your favorite old wrestlers?
That would make me sad.
I mean, and then Cody Rhodes comes out, cheap pop. As soon as he starts talking, Vision breaks him up, cheap pop. As soon as they start talking, Cody interrupts them. Jey Uso walks down. We start eating. I mean, it was just chaos that had no real. Why was Cody in there?
Yeah.
Other than saying, I know what we want to talk about, AJ Styles. What was the actual purpose of him being in there? I mean, it made no sense other than I just think they wanted to get all their cheap pops to have a giant, like, intro. Everyone on their feet at the intro. But it made no sense.
It was just like the show was all over the place. I don't have a lot to say on the show because it was bad. There was a lot. It didn't give us anything to talk about.
No.
It didn't build necessarily anything. I liked the Liv stuff. I liked the Liv stuff and the Kier stuff. I liked the Gunther stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Evans for Kofi Kingston is always fun. Javon Evans is always a fun watch when he's in the ring. CM Punk promo was decent. Like, he's doing all he can without Roman Reigns being there. But, yeah, the rest of it, like, the secondary stuff going on in WrestleMania, like, it's just hasn't been
brought that CM Punk promo. I did like that CM Punk promo because I think he turned a whole lot of nothing into a rather good promo
which he always does.
Using the what if type of talk, like, what if I did lose? What if I don't deal in what ifs? I love that line. And then I loved him going like, let me show you why I don't deal with what ifs. What if Roman Reigns was here right now? Everyone starts chanting OTC. He's not there. It's not one of the scheduled dates. So he had a great promo. Like you said, Liv had a good segment. She officially picked who she's going to fight at WrestleMania, which title she's going to take on. And to no surprise, it was Stephanie back here. They never did really sell me on Jade Cargill being the choice. I mean, like, you had Liv show up a couple times on SmackDown, but, like, you never sold me on that idea. I do like the back here stuff for sure. I do think Liv Morgan's going to eventually turn this Royal Rumble win into a title reign.
I hope so.
But, I mean, another thing on the show, the Maxine Dupree Natty stuff, just like, we marketed it as a grudge match, which to me got me so hyped up, like their third match against each other, including also the Royal Rumble. I don't even understand what happened. It's 1 minute they're outside the apron. Natty kicks her. She hits the post, and Maxine's dead. She's just dead, and then that's it. The referee calls off the match. That did so much damage to Maxine Dupree's character that you worked so hard to build by making her your Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah,
just to give Natty like what, a millimeter more of looking like a badass. And what was the reward to making Maxine look that bad? There was a lot of confusing stuff happening on the Monday Night Raw. Like I said, it just felt lazy, like very, very lazy. I think every single story writer for that show needs to take a nice like 2-day timeout in the corner because that was just poor.
Need a little mental break. Well, yeah, it's getting, like I said, we're on the road to WrestleMania right now. It doesn't necessarily really feel like.
No. I mean, the one good thing, which it was always going to be good, was the celebration of AJ Styles. I thought they did nail that. I thought the final 30 minutes of the show was great. I loved AJ Styles' reasoning for not leaving the gloves out in Saudi Arabia, saying I want to leave them at home. Having his family there was nice. Having everyone that wasn't even with the company there, like Abyss coming out of the closet, a whole bunch of TNA guys from his past. Wish you could have like a good relationship with AEW and you weren't actively competing with them because he has a lot of people over there that deserve to be there for him too. For ultimately to culminate into a very like wholesome moment when we got another cheap pop on the night of the bells tolling and Undertaker comes out in his motorcycle, kind of gets everyone excited for a half second, maybe for a match, saying we got unfinished business, just to welcome into a Hall of Fame. I thought that was a wonderful moment.
Mm-hmm.
So
I thought it was beautiful. I thought the tribute was great. Like this Raw had some decent moments, but just as an overall, like you said, go home show. Like the Bronson kind of left a bad taste in people's mouths, and
yeah.
but there was some decent stuff on this episode of Raw. It was just kind of a little bit of a boring one, which not every show is spectacular. But I thought the weeks before Raw was really, really good, and I didn't think this Raw was anywhere.
Exactly right. I felt like they had actually been nailing Raw for the past couple of weeks. Like I had no complaints coming out of most Raws. I liked most of the storylines. It's just this one, like we keep saying, if it's a go home show, you gotta go all out. Especially if you're gonna only give me 4 matches on a PLE. You gotta give me something that week of that really gives me that energy going into it. So just felt. I do also have to say I love the character that Undertaker kind of now is, which is like it's not really a Grim Reaper, but like the Hall of Fame Reaper coming around to induct everyone into Hall of Fame. I really like that for him. I think it's fitting.
Yeah.
Now something we didn't note, which was probably one of the highlights on Raw, I would say, for how short it was, and with no one answering that challenge, but it is this news of the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge that we're getting here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's a great idea because there was rumors that Lesnar was possibly going to replace someone in the Elimination Chamber and go compete in that, and maybe he would possibly win it and feud with Drew McIntyre. I hated that rumor. The fact that they came back with this idea, also, let's just say, Brock Lesnar he's gracing us with a lot of dates. I mean, when that picture came up on the screen,
it makes me think we're gonna find out his opponent a little sooner than later, just because due to the fact that you gotta have someone there to help build this up, and like it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if you leave it up to final opponent for like a couple weeks before WrestleMania or go home show, and that's when Obafemi walks out because it's gotta be Obafemi at this point, right? Like that's the moneymaker. That's gonna be like I'm interested in that match, and it's not even happening.
I'm interested in it. I think if you remember during the whole segment with Brock Lesnar, they were chanting Obafemi behind him. The fans want it. It just seems too easy to miss right now, which is scary because the WWE can mess that up quite often. So I am hyped for what it brings to the WrestleMania. I liked how Paul Heyman, I thought it also was just interesting not to get a single word from Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman talks for him the entire time. But it's what Brock Lesnar is. But Paul Heyman did sell me on the whole thing of, WrestleMania used to have 3 main events. You had both titles, and you had the Undertaker streak. And now we have the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge, the man who broke the Undertaker streak.
Exactly.
I can get behind that. I can get behind it as a 3rd main event type match. Now, it just has to be booked right. I don't want this to be exactly what it was this Monday. I was fine with it being what it was this Monday because you introduced the idea of the Open Challenge. I just don't want it to be where he goes out on each of these dates. Paul Heyman talks him up. This is Brock Lesnar. And no one answers. And no one answers. And no one answers. And it just becomes Randy Orton versus mystery opponent done all over again, but at WrestleMania 42 with Brock Lesnar. I don't want that. I kind of like the idea, maybe like you said, it doesn't have to be the exact opponent right now. Maybe it is next week. Someone like a Kit Wilson or Ray Phoenix goes out there and Brock Lesnar just says, you're not worthy.
And it kind of squashes them.
Yeah. And we move on to the next week to keep trying to figure out. And then one of those shows, you said a couple weeks before, I think Madison Square Garden can make sense. I mean, they always go hard at the Garden. So maybe that's the date that Obafemi walks out. Lesnar tries to squash him, can't, and that's what leads into the feud into Mania. Like we both said, I feel like the only answer is Obafemi.
It's a money maker match. Like it's a match that you can need to build. Obviously, be better to build, but you don't necessarily need to build it. People want to watch it just because, man, those two are going to do some crazy shit.
Exactly, right? And you already showed it off at the Royal Rumble. You saw the excitement it had at the Royal Rumble. You heard the people chanting it at Raw. Don't overthink this. Do exactly what you did when Daniel Bryan got all the heat and everyone wanted to see him win the title. You pulled the trigger. You might not have been ready, but the fans were ready. Listen to the fans, give them what they want. This isn't that hard. So, I mean, yeah, I love the idea of it. They just have to approach it the right way and nail it for it to actually have any type of validity come WrestleMania.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree.
Well, we get into our last part of the show today where we're going to do a fun segment each one of these episodes. Today's, we're going to go over our opinion on the best active storyline going in the WWE, which, it's an interesting question right now because there's not a lot of active ones going on. So, James, I'll start with you. Within both shows and both programs, what do you think is the best active storyline that is keeping you tuned in?
I'm always going to tune in when it's Roman Reigns, CM Punk, because I love Roman Reigns. CM Punk, I do acknowledge my tribal chief, but also I've been begging for CM Punk to come back for, 10 years, 12 years. So I think, but the active story, the biggest thing that's keeping me watching and is actually keeping me interested, it's probably Liv Morgan, Stephanie McKeer. I think what they're doing right now, or Finn Balor, CM Punk. I think with their storyline, see how that plays out and pays off. And then El Grande Americano, mask versus mask. I think that's just a fun, silly pro wrestling storyline that I absolutely love.
That is exactly where I was going to go with this, James, is I hate to say it. It was kind of a meme 8 months ago. El Grande Americano, what a guy. What a freaking guy. And now we're sitting here a month before WrestleMania, and he's still trooping on as one of the funniest segments on every single Raw. You always look forward to hearing El Grande Americano put on this fake Hispanic accent. You see the clear wrestling moves of the people that are under the mask, but you got to pretend it's not. You get the funny commentary along with it. And I mean, they did exactly
selling it.
Oh, the commentary sells it beautifully. But, and they didn't overthink it. When Chad Gable came back, they did run with the OG El Grande Americano idea, which I would have loved. Don't make it where all of a sudden Ludwig Kaiser gets replaced again by Chad Gable. I do like this storyline. And like you said, I do think this is on a cataclysmic course where at WrestleMania we'll get OG versus current, mask on the line, and we'll finally figure out who one of these are. I mean, they're both, allegedly Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser. We don't know. I
think I can't wait for actual Chad Gable to come back because Chad Gable is one of the most underrated wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, he is. He's a great performer. You can already see it under the mask. Also, it is hard. I know that is Chad Gable. It's so hard for me every time I see the new OG come on screen to believe it's Chad Gable with that full freaking beard that he's rocking underneath.
Yeah, right.
Now. It looks so weird, but you can tell it's him just because of the size. The moves are the same. The German suplex looks the same. That to me is the best storyline right now because it's consistently well booked. It's consistently told. Both superstars are healthy, knock on wood. But
that's just it. Both superstars are actually healthy, so it's by default it's the best one.
Yeah, it is. But I do really like the whole, just because it has felt like multiple years in the telling, the breakup of the Judgment Day. It just comes down to, are they actually going to finally pull the trigger? It's not to where I'm so fed up by the story where it's get it over with already. I almost am with the MFTs and the White Six now. They are finally giving that a little bit of legs and momentum, but I mean, at some point you're going to have to pull this trigger, and it feels like everything's ramping up for that moment. And I think Elimination Chamber might just be it, but it's everything we have for our first ever episode of Pander and Slander. Not too much, really. Actually, not anything so far being shared. What's on SmackDown this Friday, so nothing to really preview today. But man,
we'll definitely have Elimination Chamber reactions though. We'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
there. We'll be reacting to everything going on at Elimination Chamber, after Elimination Chamber. And then we'll just be here every step of the way on the road to WrestleMania. Consider us a little roadblock.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And I mean, I am excited to continue this show week by week. I'm excited to keep y'all updated, keep giving y'all our opinions. And, WWE, they get some things right. Hopefully, we don't get too many repeats of this last Raw, though, so we can have a little bit more entertaining shows to recap for y'all each week. But
absolutely. When they give us more stuff to talk about, more stuff to talk about. It's still about an hour podcast, though. So,
yeah,
a lot of content here. We can't wait to be here. Like I said, hopefully we get the better product, the best product out in wrestling. We want to pander and slander about it. And so we thank you guys for watching, sticking here with us. We'll see you in episode 2.
We'll see you in episode 2. Peace out, y'all.